What up, everybody? Motherfuckers, motherfuckerettes. Welcome to another episode of Pato's Powerhouse. We're back in this one, and, hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys have been checking out Patos and Powerhouse on Spotify. I believe this week, the year is 1989, and I'm sharing all the jams that I downloaded from the radio, gathered from the swap meet, or wherever I could, and, shared some cool stories with y'all. You gotta have Spotify for that though, because of the music. That's the only issue. You gotta have Spotify for Patos and Powerhouse. Other than that, we're doing good. Been working because your hardest working, friendly neighborhood foul mouth podcaster. That's what I do. Life is good, I guess, as good as it gets. Let's see, today's episode, I want to start talking a little bit. I know I said I was going to do it on the HOT podcast, but I've been waiting too long, and flip of a coin, I don't want to leave this one to chance. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about the deconstruction of my religious beliefs, because for the longest time, since I was a youngster, I'm talking about little kid, I was one of those kids that believed things, that I took things to heart. So it was real easy for me to get soaked in religion. Back in the day when I was a little patito and the grown-ups would be like, don't do that or God's going to punish you, especially the Spanish relatives, Si haces eso, cabrón, Diosito te va a castigar. So here I am looking at myself, looking at oh shit, no, I don't want that. Not anything but that. So I didn't want to piss off the big man upstairs with the big stick, from heaven. So I don't know. I took things to heart. I don't know. I was very, prime sucker for religion, I guess. And like I said, as I kept growing up and we started going to church, I truly, really, deeply believed. A lot of Christians right now, because of what I'm saying, might be like, nah, you're wrong. You never truly believed. That's why you were able to let it go. No, this has taken me a lifetime. This is not something that I just decided that I no longer believe that there is a God the way that, Christianity has exposed or explained it to us, or in our reality, the way any religion. The more I look at it, religion has always been a way to manipulate and control the little people, the poor people. Something that the elite and the religious leaders, they're in cahoots in order to live a good life and keep people under control. That's the way I look at it now. Religion is just set here as a control, as a program that was designed to keep the little people in check. Because how can you threaten a free man? You take for ransom his immortal soul. If you don't do this, you will be damned in hell. Now, I read the Bible when I was very young. Like I said, from cover to cover. I took everything in. For a while there, like I said, I was a Christian rapper. I truly, really believed that if you did not let Jesus or accept Jesus in your heart, you would burn in hell. That you had to shut out everything and everyone that would contaminate you. Because, you don't want to be contaminated and end up in hell because of your relatives or because of the music you're listening to. That's the level of religiosity that was, implanted in my brain, indoctrinated with at a very young age. Yeah. That's the thing. Fast forward as I keep getting older and I keep looking at things, that are going on in the church. And a lot of people say, well, that's because your focus was on the people, not on Jesus, not on God. I find it hard to believe that a lot of the religious leaders that I used to look up to embraced Donald Trump when he ran for president. Everything that doesn't resemble Jesus, I mean, these motherfuckers were embracing it. And it's always been like that. You know, they embraced the Republican candidate, of course, because conservative wants to preserve things the way they are. They're not open to change. And I never noticed that before. In fact, that's one of the reasons when I was 18 and I was able to vote, I registered Republican first and voted Republican, of course, because Republican equals conservative. Conservative equals Christian. Christian is the good guys. Yeah. You know, it's taking me a long time to finally put things, out in the open, put things into perspective. I was always so religious and so blinded that when somebody would ask me, if God exists and if he is so good, why does he let all these bad things happen? And my answer to that was always, our thoughts are not God's thoughts. We cannot comprehend what he's doing. Everything happens for a reason. It's all part of God's plan. And then after I would say that, I would say that I had free will to choose Jesus Christ, to choose Christianity. Free will. Now, I have free will, and hold on, what I'm saying is, I would answer that, that was the way it was. God was in control. That was his plans. And then on top of that, it's like I got free will to choose right from wrong. Of course, if God is all knowing, God is all powerful, and everything is part of his plan, then everything has been scripted. So every decision that I'm making, that I have made, that I'm making, that I'm going to make has already been made, and God knows about it. So do I really have a free will? See, those are the things that I started thinking. And like I said, this is years and years, not just one little detail, not just Republicans and Christians endorsing Donald Trump. I mean, seriously, that was the stupidest thing. If you call yourself a Christian and want to claim that you follow Jesus' teachings, I mean, embracing Donald Trump is the worst thing you could have done. I mean, seriously. But what I'm saying now, if I'm saying anything, is many years of watching inconsistencies, there are so many things where I had questions. I was like, when we go back to Bible school, on Sundays, and ask questions like, when the Israelites were, Moses was trying to get them out. I mean, there was a point in time when Pharaoh was going to let them go. But God hardened his heart so he wouldn't, so that he could bring plagues and punish Pharaoh. So God interfered with free will there. And I was like, well, what's the point of that? I mean, he was going to let them go. Let them go. And I would, there was a time back then that I would have defended. God had a purpose. God had to show his might, had to show the people of Egypt how powerful he was, But once again, if he interfered with free will there, why isn't he doing it now? When the disaster is going to happen, why doesn't this all-powerful, omnipresent being interfere? Why does he allow thousands of people to die? See, all these inconsistencies just started creating this big, void in me, and I started looking for answers. And I am still searching for answers. I don't know what I believe anymore. I mean, I believe, obviously, everything that's here feels like it's been created, so there might be some type of higher power that made us. Perhaps even a more advanced civilization. I don't know. Maybe it's not a God or one God. Maybe a more advanced civilization, something that, our human mind couldn't understand. I mean, we thought of them as gods. I don't know. But the thing is, nowadays, when something bad happens, I mean, There's no intervention. There's no nothing. It's like we're on our own. The only thing I do see, especially here in the country I live in, we are, I don't know, soaked in evangelism, in Christianity. And I finally, especially, like I said, once my eyes were open, I couldn't unsee it. Christianity, church, is big business here in the United States. All those nonprofit corporations, all those little kingdoms that get away with not paying taxes. And yet politicians use those little nonprofit corporations to influence elections, to influence the law. I mean, a lot of legislation being passed based on religious beliefs. And that's one thing about the United States. Supposedly, we are the one country where you are free to worship whoever you want to. You are free, you have freedom of religion, which also implies freedom from religion. But yet, here, Christianity is big business. It's $1 billion a year industry. Tax exempt. That's what I'm saying. I opened up my eyes to that. And I can't unsee it. Now, like I said, I'm not going to try to make anybody, or I'm not trying to push my beliefs or what I'm trying to rediscover now on anybody. All I'm telling you is that I no longer believe that there is this one entity looking over us with a little clipboard, checking he did good, he did bad. A lot of the things, like I said, anything that's in that book right now was designed to keep people under control, in check. And I refuse, to go back to that slavery. That's another thing, How can a good God be okay with a human being owning another human being? I cannot trying to process that annoys me. It's crazy. Why? All right, so I'm going to cut it right here. I will continue with the deconstruction of my beliefs in another episode. But just wanted to share a little bit with you. This is what I'm going through right now. I'm trying to, I don't have the answers. I don't know what's out there or what's going to happen. And I'm not going to sit here and debate with someone that's only going to use the Bible to try to convince me otherwise. Because, if your only source is the Bible, you're already lost. You've already been brainwashed, because I've been there. I've already lived that life where if it's not in the Bible, then it doesn't matter. That mentality, that poor religious mentality. It's funny because the religion is designed to keep you ignorant. And searching for truth apparently seems to be a sin. Coming to think of it, was the original sin, right? Anyway, motherfuckerettes, I'll leave you with that. I'll come back with the second part to this and continue talking about this, maybe put it out there. Maybe some of y'all want to discuss things with me. I'm open to that. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend, whatever it is, whenever it is. And till next time, see ya.